as well as they've done. They've been an incredible defense in the red zone.
I thought William Jewell had exactly the right play called. The quarterback saw the pressure coming with 5 wide. He was just going to get rid of it quickly, avoid the rush, and take a chance down the field. And I think Schneider was smart enough to see that Grand Valley was offside. He just threw that where nobody was going to get to it. Hard count again, little toss out into the flat. This will be good for a couple of yards. Nice hit made by Antonio Strong on Zach Gaudette, the junior from Joplin, Missouri, out of bounds on the sideline. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7 here.
A big play, but just nice positive yardage for William Jewell. Here's a team coming in at 1-7, coming into Grand Valley, 16th team in the country, 7-1, and this has got to be a great confidence booster for this offense and for this whole William Jewell team.
I think William Jewell knows that Grand Valley's got people that can get to the passer. They're going to not let their quarterback take a sack. It's going to be quick and short for the most part here in the passing game. 4 wide again. DU's back in the ball game. Man in motion is Gaudette. He's in motion, moving toward the line of scrimmage. Grand Valley's going to sack the quarterback. The ball's on the ground. Interesting here. 3rd and long, or do they take the penalty and make it 3rd and a little bit longer? Offensive lineman got on that one. That looked a little bit like Canadian football there, Bob. We saw the man in motion. He was almost over the line of scrimmage by the time he turned it up the field.
Turned it up a little bit early, and I think they're going to decline the penalty, according to Coach Mitchell.
Number 2, offense. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Great job of pressure from the middle and from the outside, collapsing the pocket. And Grand Valley did a phenomenal job last week in some crazy weather situations, forcing turnovers, and they almost got one right there.
Could this be a situation where Grand Valley tries to just rush with 4 and plays a little bit in the secondary with so many wideouts? This guy wants to throw it short. Grand Valley likes to come with the pressure. Something's got to give. Tyler Bradfield looks like he's ducking inside here perhaps. And Kansa steps up. Quarterback is a cool one though. He's not rushing. Schneider. Play action, getting some heat. Threw it a little bit low for Gaudette. Kind of wanted that one back because he ducked out of the rush and he had a man open. Just couldn't get it down the field far enough.
That was just a great job of Grand Valley showing pressure. They had 8 guys on the line of scrimmage and they dropped back into coverage, but the offensive line didn't know who was coming. A couple of guys ran free and Schneider had to get rid of the ball a little sooner than he wanted to. And now that's going to force a field goal of about 46, 47 yards for William Jewell.
Yeah, this is Dalton Dye, who's had a pretty good season, 6 of 9, kind of going, well, I can't really tell. The wind is across for the most part. They must have faith in him. It's a good snap. The kick is up. It's going to have to hurry a little. Just got there. And it's good. And William Jewell takes the early lead. 3-0 on the Lakers. More to come here from Lubber Stadium after this.
Timeout on the field.
And the effect you'll have on the world. You won't just choose a college. You'll choose a path. The path to your future. What college experience do you want? Something small with a focus on teaching and the opportunity to serve your community? Something big with hundreds of programs, cutting-edge research, and all the clubs, sports, and arts you want. Something flexible where you can create an experience that is tailored to your goals and the good you want to do in the world. What if you don't have to choose? What if you can have it all? You may not know it now, but the world is waiting for you and your unique problem-solving skills. The world is waiting for us. What will your Laker effect be?
I'm Philomena Mantella, president of Grand Valley State University. More than 24,000 students are taking classes at Grand Valley, a West Michigan university with impact around the world. They choose to be Lakers because they can access top faculty offering hundreds of programs. They're able to take part in research and work in businesses that value their contributions. At Grand Valley, we are driven, we are bold. That's the Laker effect.
Grand Valley has not been behind early very much this year, Bob Mitchell. A little bit surprising, but the visitors took advantage of 2 Laker penalties defensively that kept the drive going. And they cash in on the 46-yard field goal by Dalton Dye. That was good by about I'm going to say about 18 inches on that one, getting over the crossbar.
Just squeaked over the crossbar, but give Chuck Lateris and his team credit. They won the toss and they elected to get the ball, and they put some points up on the board to start this football game.
Well done for the visitors. And here's Dye kicking off again. This one might be returnable back there. Brandon Wadley backpedals to the 2-yard line, going straight up the middle, now trying to break outside. Gets to about the 22-yard line. Grand Valley will have it 1st and 10 with Cole Katopka leading the group out. And now what do we have? Penalty flags flying in at the end of the play. This one might not be going against Grand Valley. Zach Powell was one of the guys over there in the vicinity, and Grand Valley players were pointing. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, Zach Powell's the one's getting the earful over on his sideline. Looks like it might be an unsportsmanlike conduct against William Jewell, which is going to give Grand Valley great field position to start off this drive.
Well, if that's the case, then we could say that both these teams have been told that they're each on double secret probation for the remainder of this contest. Johnny Williams, as you mentioned, Bob, wasn't a real heavy hit on the quarterback, a little bit of a careless shove that got roughing the passer, and now an unsportsmanlike, or will this simply cancel out?
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Throwing a punch. Number 12 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Number 12 is disqualified for the remainder of the game.
Wow.
That is a huge play. Zach Powell, one of their go-to slot wide receivers, is a guy that really helps his football team out. And what a huge mistake that was. And I did not see the play, but enough to have 2 officials both throw their flags. So it must have been enough for them to see that this is just a discretionary play that he's not going to be able to play the rest of this football game.
Boy, talk about a long bus ride for
very
little in return. Anyway, Katopka, play action, going to have to step up in the pocket. He's got a man wide open down the field. It's going to be a Grand Valley touchdown. How about that on the first play from scrimmage? And the guy that pulled it off for the Lakers, Brandon Wadley.
Well, that's how you respond to a nice drive from William Jewell if you're Grand Valley. Great protection from the Grand Valley Lakers front 5 right here. You'll see Cole Katopka feel a little pressure from the outside, does a great job of dipping the shoulder. Wadley just running this easy post route, gets behind the defense, and Gianni D'Arienzo, and a huge touchdown for the Lakers.
Core ball is on, and I'll tell you, the ultimate ignominy of that is that the ejected player was standing at about the goal line. I looked at him, he turned his head and saw that his team's lead had just gone away. Core ball on, the kick is up, the kick is through, and the Lakers move on top by the score of 7-3. That's a 63-yard touchdown pass for Wadley from Katopka.
Well, if anything right there, it sends a message about William Jewell in regards to their coverage and what they want to do on the outside. You're going to see a lot more too deep after that first play right there. Not exactly sure where the coverage broke down on the backside, but you saw right there 2 William Jewell's defenders just watching Wadley run right by him. Whether or not they got confused on the backside on their coverage, but watch for William Jewell to come out to play a lot safer coverage, which will give Grand Valley a lot of opportunities to not only run the football underneath, but also to throw some of those deep shoulder throws that they love to throw.
You know, William Jewell guessed right. They were expecting a pass, maybe even play action, and Jake Slager just got a little bit of the outside rusher there to turn him past Katopka. And then from there, Katopka had a pretty clean pocket. He got to step into that throw, and he didn't overcook it, which quarterbacks sometimes do, young guys that haven't played a lot. Beautiful throw, nice catch by Wadley. And Grand Valley, well, they weren't behind very long. It's now 7-3. Corball with the ball at the 35-yard line. I think this is going to be Jagway back at the 5. Nice seam up the middle, good space all the way to the 30. So pretty good returns in the early going. Grand Valley tackler that time was Jaden Rogers, the defensive back. 1st and 10 now. And we've had a little bit of excitement already here in the first 6 minutes of this ball game.
One of the things I know Grand Valley wants to clean up is their special teams. They've done a great job this year on kickoff coverage. So far, William Jewell giving themselves good field position to start both of their drives.
A touchdown pass, 63 yards to Wadley. Boy, Grand Valley's had some bombs this year, Bob. I saw the 3 longest touchdown passes Grand Valley had coming into this game were 76, 75, and 74 yards.
Not to mention some big runs as well.
And I think they were all to different players. In fact, the guy that has the longest Grand Valley touchdown catch this year, Luke DeLong. up in northern Michigan. That's a blown coverage right there. A great pitch and a good catch made by the Cardinals receiver Octavian Phelps. He's a junior from Greenville, Texas.
I think there's a little miscommunication. Demario Johnson, the corner on the outside, I think was supposed to direct that receiver to the outside. He let him inside, which is a huge gap underneath the safety coverage, and just not a great job on the outside of letting the free release. A great pitch and catch there, and a huge first down again for William Jewell on the move right at midfield.
Schneider has hit some passes early. He's only thrown one incompletion, and they're on the move again. Grand Valley's got to get sorted here defensively. I wouldn't say they've been pushed around yet, but they are not playing the way they'd like to. Schneider this time had it strung out. Good work by Brendan Brown. Nick Lava also in the play, and the tackle ultimately by Nkansa, but a lot of guys doing their job exactly right that time on the option.
And that's exactly what the defense, Coach Postema, Coach Lewis want to see their defense do, is when that quarterback decides to run, they want to see him getting hit, and that's a great job by Isaiah Nkansa coming over the top and putting a big hit on Will Schneider.
I'll tell you, one guy that we don't talk enough about for Grand Valley, Jake Lava, who's ostensibly a backup. He's made 10 tackles behind the line of scrimmage this year. Now, he has had some starting time. Started last week for Williams, who was out for the first half. Having a fine season. There's a good play by Nkansa right there. He just swallows the ball carrier. Brad D is dropped for a loss of a couple. The ball back to the 49 now. 3rd and 8.
Isaiah Nkansa coming off a Player of the Week performance last week against Davenport in the rain, in the torrential rain, just came up with tackle after tackle. And this kid has proved to he got better and better every single year. And this year, his leadership and what he's been able to do at that middle linebacker position has been phenomenal.
Phelps might be in there as a result of the ejection of Zach Powell on that Grand Valley kickoff return after the early field goal. It's now 7-3 Lakers after that first play bomb from Katopko to Wadley. And now, oh my goodness, timeout number 2 taken here, and we are barely 8 minutes into the game. The stadium clock is still running there, and there we go. Finally stopped it about 6 or 7 seconds late.
Well, the play clock running out on Will Schneider, and I think a lot of that had to do with Grand Valley's defense bouncing around. They were looking to show man free with a free safety over the top, and then all of a sudden the safety backed up, and I think that confused Will Schneider and the offense. A good timeout by Will.
You're going to split the difference, put 5 seconds back on the clock. It was really right about the 6:59 mark, I think, when they first blew the plate, well, when the timeout was signaled for. 3rd and 8 coming up, though, for William Jewell. Grand Valley next week facing Ferris State. Bob, talk about the Bulldogs today.
Well, the Bulldogs went up to Michigan Tech, had to make the trip over the bridge, and there was a lot of snow up there from some of the pictures I saw earlier, but they took care of business, won 52-0 over the Huskies for Michigan Tech. And the big showdown up in Big Rapids will be got moved again to noon next week on Saturday. And Grand Valley right now just trying to get themselves in position to be able to have a playoff run. Every game's been a playoff game ever since the Ashland loss here in Division II. The regional rankings came out, and Grand Valley sitting number 7.
Schneider has a new running back in there. I think that's Nick Alsman. Play action, but he runs right into problem, and here's a throw out here that's going to be incomplete. Boy, I don't know how Schneider got that off, and he got it into the area of the receiver. Went down pretty hard. Mike Pettis was on the scene, but pretty good work, I thought, by Schneider to make a play out of that.
I'll tell you what, he had a play fake and was running a bootleg. He booted right into Michael Pettis, and Pettis had a lineman on him and also was able to grab a bunch of Will Schneider, and Will just threw that up for grabs, and he was fortunate that ball didn't get intercepted.
Well, Grand Valley's going to drop, I think is that Preventure back there today? We've had some movement, people changing positions on the punt return.
Might be Hunter Boersma.
Oh, you're right. It's a little bit of a pooch kick. Boersma's going to take it right at the 14 and got wiped out. Boy, get that hand up. That takes us to a break. Grand Valley 7, William Jewell 3.
When it comes to your future and the effect you'll have on the world, you won't just choose a college. You'll choose a path. The path to your future. What college experience do you want? Something small with a focus on teaching and the opportunity to serve your community? Something big with hundreds of programs, cutting-edge research, and all the clubs, sports, an arts you want. Something flexible, where you can create an experience that is tailored to your goals and the good you want to do in the world. What if you don't have to choose? What if you can have it all? You may not know it now, but the world is waiting for you and your unique problem-solving skills. The world is waiting for us. What will your Laker effect be?
I'm Philomena Mantella, president of Grand Valley State University. More than 24,000 students are taking classes at Grand Valley, a West Michigan university with impact around the world. They choose to be Lakers because they can access top faculty offering hundreds of programs. They're able to take part in research and work in businesses that value their contributions. At Grand Valley, we are driven, we are bold. That's the Laker effect.
Good job by the punter to pin Grand Valley in. Boersma almost got his head taken off, but he's okay.
Great coverage. You're looking for that fair catch, but a great job of catching and securing the ball.
Ariane Kane-Veazey, first carry, a little cutback here. Got away from one man and forced his way up over the 20, close to a first down. They're going to give him 10 yards in the first down. But I want to point this out, Bob. This is a number we won't talk about very often during the course of the season. Cole Katapka in today's game with a quarterback rating so far of 959.2. 1 for 1 for 63 yards and a touchdown. What, 150 is in a pretty good range right there. He's in a spot where he's likely to come down a little bit. Here's Kane-Veazey again. He slipped that time. Bob, talk a little bit about the wet turf, and we see it all the time when people cut off the wrong leg. Yeah. What is the rule on that?
The only rule and the only thing you'll hear from the coaches is know the conditions. Know the conditions, shorten your stride, shorten your steps. In that case right there, Aaron Kavisi just saw something a little quicker than his feet could react, but you got to chop those steps, and you can't take those big strides when the turf is a little bit wet. And that's exactly what happened there.
You dig in with that outside foot, and you're just not going to get the right angle for staying up on your feet. Here is Katapka getting some pressure. Grand Valley got away with a grab on the offensive line. This ball sails over the head of Parity out of play.
Yeah, that was just not great protection up front. They did a little bit of a twist right there, and 3 guys came free, and just not great communication. There are a couple of linemen here. Carroll and Matthew Stefanski are not playing today, so some new guys up front there have got to do a better job at communicating. And right now, Grand Valley is in a 3rd and long situation, not a situation that they really wanted to put themselves in with the way they were hoping to run the football today.
I don't think you're going to see Katapka faking play action here. It's a straight drop. He throws the ball over the middle, and that's a nice catch there. And that's a typical catch made by that guy right there, Brandon Wadley. Actually, I thought it was going to be Parity because that's where we see him. But it was Wadley, who's been targeted twice. He's made big plays on both of them.
Well, William Jewell, just like Coach Mitchell said earlier this week, they're going to bring pressure. They're going to have 3 guys down line, and they're going to move a lot of things up front, try to confuse that offensive front. They brought pressure. Katapka did a nice job of stepping up in that pocket and delivering.
This is Ariane Kane-Veazey. Oh, the last man got him around the ankles and dragged him down. That was a touchdown-saving tackle right there, but it's a first down. As Ariane Kane-Veazey's been a little bit of a forgotten guy after that 200-yard-plus ball game earlier in the season. He's had some niggling injuries, and that time he almost shook free. The guy that got him was Zach Bayless.
Zach Bayless with a touchdown-saving tackle, and Bryce Young-Wall's now into the game, and these are the 2 guys Coach Mitchell really wanted to see have a lot of success, have some big runs stepping into the game next week.
Well, that didn't work out. It's a completion to Wadley for a loss on the play. This is a team that has been bringing the house just about every single down in terms of pressure, and I think Grand Valley has to probably recognize that.
And that was a great call against that pressure. It's an inside bubble screen right there. It's just a ball that was thrown behind the receiver. If that ball is thrown out in front, I think that play could have gone the distance because the blocking was out front and the pressure was coming up. William Jewell would have been caught.
Well, they are going to let Katapka carry it on the option. Grand Valley wants him to get down. That ball carry for Katapka down to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the play, 3rd and 7. A little unusual to see that. Katapka.
Little read option right there for Katapka, and does a nice job of faking it and getting to the outside, getting some positive yards. It's a play right there to keep the defense a little bit honest. Right now, they're selling out right now for the first run. They're selling out against the pass and bringing in a lot of pressure. That's a play that'll try to keep them a little bit honest.
Grand Valley's going to have Katopka get rid of this one pretty quickly, and he does. Oh, and it's dropped right into the hands of Luke DeLong. He tried to run before he had it. It's the ideal play, really, for Grand Valley in that situation.
That's, again, more pressure coming. They brought Jake DeLong in the slot all the way across the formation, and the defender just couldn't keep up. A great delivery right there, as you see, right into the chest, and that's one of those balls you tell a receiver, catch the ball with your hands, not with your body. Got into his body a little bit, and you saw the incompletion.
Well, Katopka's going to face some heat here on 4th down. He's got a pretty clean pocket. He has time. He throws. It's Wadley again. Wadley spins away and into the end zone. How about that? What an afternoon so far for Brandon Wadley as Grand Valley hits from long distance again to take a 13-3 lead.
William Jewell again bringing the heat, going man-to-man on the outside. Wadley with a simple slant route. And you'll see here just a broken tackle. Again, Gianni Dariziano trying to make an arm tackle and just too much strength for Wadley. And into the end zone he goes for his second touchdown of the game, and the Lakers strike again.
And Wadley already has 4 catches in this game, and I think that one takes him about to 100 yards here in the first quarter. Gorbel for the extra point. Kick is up. The kick is through. Lakers 14, William Jewell 3 today here from Lover Stadium.
When it comes to your future and the effect you'll have on the world, you won't just choose a college. You'll choose a path. The path to your future. What college experience do you want? Something small with a focus on teaching and the opportunity to serve your community? Something big with hundreds of programs, cutting-edge research, and all the clubs, sports, and arts you want. Something flexible where you can create an experience that is tailored to your goals and the good you want to do in the world. What if you don't have to choose? What if you can have it all? You may not know it now, but the world is waiting for you and your unique problem-solving skills. The world is waiting for us. What will your Laker effect be?
I'm Philomena Mantella, president of Grand Valley State University. More than 24,000 students are taking classes at Grand Valley, a West Michigan university with impact around the world. They choose to be Lakers because they can access top faculty offering hundreds of programs. They're able to take part in research and work in businesses that value their contributions. At Grand Valley, we are driven, we are bold. That's the Laker effect.
Well, we have kept the crowd alert here, Bob Mitchell, in the first quarter. An early score for the visitors, then 2 long touchdown passes from Katopka to Wadley. And it's Gorbal to kick it away. Jalik Jagway back, and this is the other deep man who's going to take this one. It's going to be Zach Gaudette. He's got a big space up the middle, and Grand Valley's kick coverage has not been exemplary so far today, all the way out to the 40, and then a late flag coming in.
All 3 of the kick returns for William Jewell have been right up the middle, and Grand Valley just now doing a great job of keeping their lanes, and give William Jewell some credit. They're doing some great job of blocking some seams. Well, that was just a matter of the defense coming onto the field a little bit before that play was off. It had nothing to do with the coaching staff. I kind of saw the whole defense coming onto the field as the play was still going on. They're just going to let them know that, hey, slow your roll down here. You guys, I know you're anxious to get out on the field, but wait till this play is over.
Well, Grand Valley has that core defensive group, both Lava and Williams now. Pettis gets a break on this first down play. 3 wideouts, 2 protectors back there, and they're going to give it off to Brad D, and he runs into the mighty might. It's Zach Bradfield, or I should say Tyler Bradfield, making the stop there.
A lot of penetration on that defensive front. Grand Valley's defense just a little bit quicker than what the William Jewell offense can do as far as against the run, and watch for those quick passing plays to come back to William Jewell, what they were effective with earlier. They have not been effective at all running the football other than whatever Will Schneider's been able to do with his feet on the scramble.
So Tyler Bradfield with another tackle. I think it gives him now 62 on the season. He's looking to put some pressure again. He's ducked inside. He's standing right next to Nkansa and Brown, too. Who's going to drop back in coverage here? It's going to be Bradfield and Brown, but Grand Valley comes with the heat, and there's Jake Lava. Another tackle for loss, a quarterback sack. That brings the ball all the way back to the 33-yard line. Loss of about 7 on the play, 3rd and long.
Again, Grand Valley showing a blitz. All the men on the line of scrimmage, man-to-man on the outside. They drop back into a cover 2, and just William Jewell's front can't figure out exactly where they're coming from. And Jake Lava came unblocked, and great pressure by Jonathan Williams on the outside as well.
Grand Valley only has 3 men up in the rush right now. It's going to be Williams and Lava, and 1 interior defensive lineman. Let's see if they kind of stay at home. Johnny Williams is not staying at home. He's going after the quarterback. And Nkansa taking a look, and he just shepherds the quarterback out of bounds. That's a good play by Nkansa. He didn't take off too soon. Wanted to make sure Bob, the quarterback, was committed to running the ball.
And that's a great job. Well, you mentioned Jonathan Williams on the outside, beating 2 different offensive linemen just to force him out of the pocket and really create a small passing alley. Whenever you get a quarterback running into one direction and you drop back 8 deep into coverage, there's no holes, no pockets, nowhere to throw the football.
Hunter Broersma's back at the 25-yard line. He made a heroic catch the last time on a punt. I don't think Matt Mitchell wants to see as much heroism this time. This is going to be a great kick. It's going to sail out of bounds inside the 5. What a kick that is. It's going to go for 57 yards for Dalton Dye. Grand Valley pinned in, 1st and 10 from the 3.
Grand Valley has faced one other punter that has been the player of the week up in Michigan Tech, with their punter pinning Grand Valley very deep, and Grand Valley struggling with field position up in Houghton, but Grand Valley's been able to get out of their own end zone here the last couple of times that William Jewell's pinned them deep.
Well, this guy's a great dual threat as a kicker with a 46-yard field goal and a couple good punts already.
Yeah.
And it's something we see more in football now, Bob. Guys that kick, soccer-style kickers who are also punters.
Yep.
And in the old days, you didn't see it very much. Now Grand Valley's going to take a timeout because they had 1 extra on the field. It was Wadley. Matt Mitchell's not looking his way, so that leads me to believe that Wadley was the guy that shouldn't have been out there.
Yeah, a little personnel issue right there. Trying to call a certain formation, had the wrong personnel out there. One of the things that you got to worry about when you do that, if they do huddle up and you have 12 men in the huddle, it's an automatic 5-yard penalty and loss of down. So Grand Valley doing a great job right there of calling the timeout, trying not to take the penalty deep in their own end zone, or deep facing in their own end zone.
Well, Wadley may have been the guy coming off, although he could probably make the argument, why am I coming off?
Yeah, exactly. I'm the guy that's making all the big plays, and I don't want to come out of this game right now. I always remember as a player, you never wanted to come out when you had an opportunity and you knew it was a passing situation. Keep me in the football game.
I think the most impressive play so far for Wadley was that diving catch on the post on third down. That's not the kind of ball that they would normally target him with. He's more of a long threat, but he's gained the confidence of his coaches. Grand Valley going to run it here after the timeout, and they've got plenty of yardage here with Ariane Kane-Vesey out to the 10. Pickup of 7 yards, well, actually just shy of 7, 2nd down.
Great job by Jack Gordon. He's 6 foot, big size defensive back from Overland Park, Kansas. Does a nice job of coming up and feeling, but you saw the way Vesey hit that hole. He was trying to hit the big play right there.
Yeah, defensive back with 53 tackles coming into this game tells you he's a hitter, and he's probably seen more running backs than he would like to at that position. Will Grand Valley continue to hammer? No, it's Katopka with time. Going back, up over the top, good coverage. Parity was there. He almost pulled it down with one arm. But that's one that I think Grand Valley would like to review maybe a little bit later on in the film session, because Katopka was glued on one guy, and that was pretty well defended the whole way. Took a little bit of a chance, but he threw it to the outside.
Just threw up a 50-50 ball, hoping his receiver can make the play, and those are the kind of balls that you want to see, basically a level 2 ball on the back shoulder when the receiver or the defender has his head turned, and just a little bit too much air on that ball.
Now Grand Valley in a tough situation here. 3rd, and they're going to have to make some yardage. William Jewell shows blitz. Grand Valley's going to run. Grand Valley's going to run for the first down. It's Bryce Young-Walls. Nice carry, running hard on the left side up to the 19-yard line. Big first down for the Lakers.
Bryce Young-Walls, just a great leader on that offense and just a hard runner. He's a guy that has had some injury issues this season and just is starting to get healthy again. And again, I tell you, Coach Mitchell this week really wants to see Bryce Young-Walls and Arian Kane-Vesey get a load of the run, as they want to make sure that they're healthy and running hard throughout the stretch of this schedule.
End of the first period, Grand Valley 14, William Jewell 3. More to come from Lover Stadium.
When I was looking into schools in Michigan, Grand Valley was one of the smallest schools, but it had a good vibe to it. The Cardinals International Center has made it very accommodating for the new incoming internationals. Coming from a different background and coming to the States, you get to experience a lot of stuff that you probably haven't before, but you have the right people around you that are willing to help you and guide you in the right way. Through the GVSU co-op program, I felt like I have stepped into the professional field. You have academic experience in class, but then academic experience outside of class where it's more hands-on. And I feel when I walk out, I already have a certain amount of experience under my belt, which gives me an edge. Grand Valley has a lot of resources outside the classroom that one can utilize to make themselves into a better person. It's not all about academics, it's not all about studying, it's more about helping you reach the best version of yourself. My name is Abe Azar. My Laker effect is making the most out of every opportunity.
I'm Philomena Mantella, president of Grand Valley State University. More than 24,000 students are taking classes at Grand Valley, a West Michigan university with impact around the world. They choose to be Lakers because they can access top faculty offering hundreds of programs. They're able to take part in research and work in businesses that value their contributions. At Grand Valley, we are driven, we are bold. That's the Laker effect.
Rain starting to fall again here in West Michigan. Grand Valley with a lead after one quarter, 14-3. Bob, I thought that was one of the most interesting third down calls we've seen from Grand Valley this year. Almost always a passing situation. Grand Valley went to the run. They ran away from the blitz and easily picked up the first down with Bryce Young-Walls. Katopka now wanting to throw, has time. Back shoulder throw, and that's pretty well defended too, right on the sideline. And that was targeted for Jake Slager, the big tight end, running down there. Grand Valley has gone a little bit more often to the tight end recently, but William Jewell's a team that really throws to the tight end. They haven't done so today, but Nick Fisher, their starting tight end, came into this game, Bob, with 23 catches.
Yeah, 6'5", 270, the redshirt junior out of Bayshore, Kansas. He's a big target and a really good receiver, and they haven't even gone his way yet today.
Katopka here to Parody, trying to make a move, pulled down at the 27, got him around the ear holes. Grand Valley's going to be a little bit short of the first down. What did Parody lose there? He lost, his
hand warmer. that's one of those things.
No sympathy.
Yeah, extra piece of clothing that the defender can use to wrangle you down. I always thought as a tight end, as a receiver, you wanted as little as possible on you for the defender to grab, and that's one of those things that they can snag and bring you down.
Arian Kane-Vesey is in at running back again. Grand Valley's got a power formation here. It's going to be Kane-Vesey. Will he get there? Oh, yeah. And he just about gets rid of everybody. He's all the way up to the 40-yard line. Big carry and a first down.
That play could have been snuffed out at the line of scrimmage. Linebacker, you'll see it right here, comes in and has an opportunity to make a play. Just great footwork at the point of attack by Kane-Vesey and gets around the impending tackler and a huge first down for the Lakers.
Well, he shook off the guy running left and hopped immediately back to the right.
Yeah, he's a big guy who's got great footwork, good explosion, and great speed in the open field.
Katopka, Grand Valley's got it defended well. Bomb Wadley out there. He's behind the defender. Oh, goodness. Wadley, who had had a perfect afternoon up until that point, will never get an easier catch.
One of the things that you do as a wide receiver is you try to bring your hands up at the last second so that the defender doesn't read your eyes or read what you're doing, so he can't get his hand up. Wadley did that perfectly. You'll get a great look at her here. Doesn't put his hands up till the last second, but gets him up just a little bit too late and cannot hold on that pass. That's a ball that he has got to catch. A great delivery by Cole Katopka.
Probably wouldn't have been a touchdown, but would have been another huge gain. Here is Arian Kane-Vesey again, and he's defended pretty well this time. Nice work done by the Cardinals there. They suspected it might be a second down run, and the man that made the stop was Cole Wagner, the linebacker, 56 in the middle. 3rd and long now for Grand Valley after missing on that attempted hit over the top.
One of the guys we haven't seen out here yet is Davon Anderson. He's a big play receiver for Grand Valley. Played a lot last week. Didn't hear anything about him on the injury report. Just don't see him out here yet today.
And this time Katopka goes down to one knee and is sacked, and Grand Valley will have to kick it away.
Went down really awkwardly too. Hopefully he's going to be all right, but slow in getting up right there. But a great job. Another stunt on the inside. And again, we talked about it earlier. William Jewell loves to run a lot of different things up front to try to confuse the offensive line. Right there, they just simply ran a tackle and stunt on both sides. Guy came free and made a nice play and a huge sack, forcing the punt for Grand Valley.
Katopka's not feeling too good about the hit either. I don't think it was really the hit, as you said, Bob. It was just the awkward landing. That foot slid out from underneath him a little bit. Here's Kyle Killaleon for his first punt of the afternoon. I think this is Gaudette back there at the 25-yard line. Killale gets off a high kick that's going to be caught in return. Gaudette, nice turn away. Well, another nice turn, but he's not getting away this time. The guy that chased him down for the Lakers is Abe Swanson.
Great job by Abe Swanson. And let's give a huge shout out to Colton Heibel. He is the backup long snapper, and that was a dime right there with the Grand Valley punt team spread out very, very thin, and it's very important that you get a great snap. Colton Heibel taking in for Scott Mulenex, who's out this week with a concussion.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block. The return team, number 1, half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. First down, William Jewell.
Well, that's set up by the return man wheeling 2 different ways. We'll talk more about that in a minute. More to come here from Lubbers.
I'm Philomena Mantella, president of Grand Valley State University. More than 24,000 students are taking classes at Grand Valley, a West Michigan university with impact around the world. They choose to be Lakers because they can access top faculty offering hundreds of programs. They're able to take part in research and work in businesses that value their contributions. At Grand Valley, we are driven, we are bold. That's the Laker effect.
When I got to Grand Valley, I knew that this was home. The hospitality program that I was in, we got to have internships that put us into the work field. I was able to take everything that I learned and put it back into what I'm doing, which came full circle because here I am doing a lot of the things that I got to do at internships in my job. When you first accept going to Grand Valley, you're joining into this family. It's called the Laker effect, but it really is the Laker family. I realized that my experience at Grand Valley wouldn't have been anything that it was if it wasn't for those alumni taking the time to tell me about their experiences. It's great to know that I was a part of something that is bigger than just my education, and having the impact that they do on this community, which I was fortunate enough to grow up in. It's been a great return on investment that I'm so happy that I have. My name is Kaylee P. I am the Community Engagement Specialist for Rockford Construction, and my Laker effect is bridging the gaps of the different communities throughout Grand Rapids.
All right, there you see the lights are on. We still have a little bit of what I guess you could marginally call daylight here in West Michigan. It is raining, however, and that penalty moves the ball all the way back to the 10-yard line. The blindside block, and Schneider going to throw a little slant. Look out. Oh, goodness gracious. Grant Postma leveled the intended receiver there.
Great delivery from Schneider and his wide receiver, number 10, Logan McKinney, just tried to catch it again with the body off the shoulder pad in a dangerous play. Easily could have been intercepted by Grand Valley, but going back to that punt play that you said with the illegal blind, it's one of the point of emphasis this year is if you have an opportunity for a blind side, one of those blocks that you'd love to see on SportsCenter back in the day, they want you to shield now. They don't want you to hit, and that's what happened.
All you can do is basically stand there and get in the way.
Yep. Player safety.
2nd and 10. They're going to run the ball this time, and not much happening here as the ball carrier gets only to the 10-yard line.
William Jewell not finding any success on the ground thus far, only with about 13 yards in the first quarter of total rushing yards. And Grand Valley's front 7, like we talked about early game, really trying to control that line of scrimmage. They've done a great job thus far, and Now the 3rd and long situation. Grand Valley is going to pin its ears back, come after the quarterback. We'll see what kind of coverage they drop into, if they go man-to-man and bring some heat, or if they drop back in the coverage.
Last carry there by Rael Didell, 23, who might play on both sides of the ball today. Grand Valley's got him lined up man-to-man. Looks like the Lakers are going to play coverage to me, and they are. Schneider throws, a ball beautifully thrown that just got into the body again. The intended receiver, Jalik Jagway, came in leading pass catcher on the season with 36, and that's one he's got to make.
I'll tell you what, that was great pressure by defensive front and great coverage on the outside. Will Schneider just threw a perfect ball and a great route by his receiver, and just a simple drop right there. Those are balls that need to be caught. A big break for the Lakers.
Dalton Dye can kick it, we know that. Line of scrimmage is the 10, back at about the 46-yard line. I'm not sure Hunter Boersma is back far enough. This guy can let it go. Grand Valley avoids any problem, and this ball is going to roll all the way inside the 45 to about the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for Grand Valley as the rain starts to come down a little bit harder, and it looks like sort of hailish right now.
Yeah, we've had a mix today, starting this morning at 9 a.m. of snow, sleet, hail, rain. Now it looks like a little mixture of some hail, some crazy weather here in West Michigan.
I'm sure you get a mailman out of this kind of weather right now.
The only thing that's not going against these guys right now is the wind. The wind isn't horrible as it was last week against Davenport.
Grand Valley with Katopka back out there. Play action. Ball thrown toward the sideline, and again, not making the catch was the Grand Valley receiver, Luke DeLong. That one is slightly behind him, but still, he got both hands on it.
Well, it was a window that he should have actually settled in a little bit. He outran the window right there. Cole Katopka did a great job of throwing over the linebacker underneath the coverage on the safety. The perfect window throw right there, and that's what receivers got to feel for where that window is. And he Luke DeLong kind of overran it, and that's got to be a ball that's caught, though.
Welcome to the battle, Tariq Reed, his first carry of the ball game. And there are probably coaches in the Great Lakes Conference and throughout Division II are saying, how do you keep a guy on a bench after he's run for 288 yards in one game?
Well, he's a guy that's been battling a little bit of an ankle injury. Coaches had talked about him, just kind of complaining a bit on game day. He's doing well during the week, and then on game day, just a little bit of a tweak of the ankle. But he looked really, really good right there. And now you got Grand Valley with 3 strong running backs. Hard to think that they're not going to really give these running backs a lot of load right now.
This is Ariane Kane Veazey right now. Katopka's going to hand it to him, and Veazey is just going to get the first down, barely enough. Now he surges forward to about the 47-yard line. It will be a Laker first down here with the clock running. Well, they stop it now at 10-17 to move the chains and unpile. Now the crank from our referee today, Brian Earl, working this game. The umpire is Mark Parinello, the linesman James Bohr, the line judge Brian Gerwin, the field judge Alexander Bade, side judge Todd Skopczynski, and the back judge is Christopher Madej.
William Jewell drove 9.5 hours, 639 miles from Liberty, Missouri to be here, and they are putting up everything they can against this tough running offense in Grand Valley.
Here's Tariq Reed again. He's got good yardage down to the 40. 2 impressive runs so far. Reed seems a little bit more upright than some of the other running backs, Bob, and he's been able to cut a little bit in the brief time that he's been out there.
That's the great thing about these running backs. They all have their little different styles. You got some power, you got the low center of gravity with Bryce Young Walls. Aaron Kane Veazey brings a little bit of the great little bit of sidestep and some jitter and some explosive speed on the outside. And like you said, Tariq Reed, a little bit more of the upright style and the explosive speed and the 200-plus yards that he had earlier this year.
Davon Anderson came out and he chased Austin Parody onto the field. Grand Valley with a man out there deep. It's going to be Parody, and it's incomplete, and now a flag goes down. Grand Valley player lost his helmet.
A little illegal hands to the face action.
Yeah, it
threw
could
that
be
helmet off.
Antonio Wabanimki, who is the guy that they were looking toward.
Personal foul, illegal chop block, number 9 and number 72, offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
That's Bryce Young Walls, and I know he knows the rule. You can't engage, or you can't go down low on a lineman when he's engaged with
We'll get a
somebody
great look
else.
at it right here. You see him sliding over as someone's engaged right there. You cannot go low, and a great call by the back referee right there seeing it. And that's a dangerous play, and that's why it's not allowed. You got a guy engaged, and he's fighting his battle against the offensive lineman, the last thing he's thinking about is his knees, and you can't have someone coming chopping at your knees.
Kind of a needless play as well. Now what do we have here? Flags fly.
False start. 79. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Ryan Buckman
Remains.
is in there at right
Second down.
tackle right now for Kelvin Graves. And we talked about Grand Valley with a few problems. Stefanski not playing today, and also the other big tackle who's been out hurt for a little while now, Garrett Carroll has been missing in action. So now Grand Valley's got a mile to go here, 3rd and more than 20 for the Lakers. They tried the bubble screen, and that ball was very nearly intercepted.
Wow.
Davon Anderson was not able to pull that one away from the defensive back, Johnny D'Arienzo.
Johnny did a great job of breaking on that football, and that was a 50-50 ball right at the catch. You don't see that very often, and luckily for the Lakers, that ball went harmless to the ground, because that could have easily been a pick 6 for William Jewell. Now Grand Valley on a 3rd and long situation, look for them to just simply run that draw play to try to create some field position for their punter.
Lakers with 4 wide. You know that they're going to come with some heat. Anderson is the man in motion. Grand Valley does a decent job of picking up the blitz, but not good enough. And Katopka running to his left it's not his strong suit, and now Grand Valley's going to have to kick it away.
Well, Grand Valley right there trying to go deep, and William Jewell picking up the tendencies of what Grand Valley likes to do in long situations, and they like to run those 4-seam route. When you can bring some heat like that, run a twist and bring an extra linebacker, you're going to force the quarterback out of the pocket. You're not going to give him the time. Great call, great defensive scheme by William Jewell.
Killelea back on again to punt for Grand Valley. Gets a good snap. Gets a reasonably good kickoff this time. Gaudet retreating back near the 20. He's going to be wrapped up immediately right there. So no return. Good kick by Killelea. And with 8:14 remaining in the first half, Lakers lead still 14-3.
Mel Johnson, great job there on coverage for Grand Valley. And now the defense, who's given up some yards, nothing on the ground, but a few through the air, is going to have to see what they can do to stiffen up to see if they can get the Lakers the ball back to put some more points on this board. William Jewell right now has to try to figure out a way to sustain the drive like they did early in the game. Grand Valley's done a nice job of adjusting, and William Jewell hasn't had much to do in the last couple of drives.
D is back in there running back, and he's going to break to the left side, and that's not going to work out because he can't get away from Bradfield, who drops him for a loss of 1.
Looked like it was all clogged up. Looked like D might have a little bit of room to the outside, and all of a sudden Bradfield steps out, does a great job of staying home and keeping contained, and a great open field tackle.
Well, Bradfield is a crafty fellow. Well, Grand Valley's linebackers are all having what you would have to say are pretty close to all conference type seasons. They're probably not all going to make the all GLIAC team, but they're playing about as well as you could expect. Grand Valley pressing on the corner here on 2nd and 11. Schneider looking to throw quick, tries to go over the top. That ball's going to be out of bounds and incomplete. Demario Johnson had the coverage. The intended receiver was Ishmael Mitchell, who's had a couple of touchdown catches this year.
Nice job of trying to come over the top of the defender right there. But Demario Johnson just too big of a guy to come over the top and try to make that play.
Johnson didn't really locate that ball, but he was so tight to the receiver,
Exactly.
He didn't have to.
And he's got a big enough body to where it makes it very difficult for him, any receiver, to come over the top.
4 wide here for the Cardinals. One of them was lined up offside, got back. Schneider on a quarterback draw. He's not going to get enough yardage. He's wrapped up at about the line of scrimmage, and take your pick. There are all sorts of Lakers there. One of the guys getting up off the bottom, Dennis Johnson.
Well, that was a simple 3-man route, and I don't think that was a design quarterback draw, because watching the receivers and watching them in their routes, they were trying to get open and just too much pressure. And I think Will Schneider just felt the heat a little too quickly, got out of that a little bit too soon, and ran right into the pressure of Grand Valley.
Line of scrimmage is the 19. Boersma is about 35 or 36 yards up the field. He might have to back up a little bit. Grand Valley blocks it. Let's see if it's a rip and run. The Lakers try to pick this one up if they can. Instead, they simply cover it. The guy that got on it was Damon Wesley, one of the real popular guys on this squad.
Looked like
reserve.
Nick Foster is the one who came in from right inside the right side to get his hand on that ball. Not a turnover, but a huge play for Grand Valley for field position for their offense. A great job by special teams.
So Wesley covered the ball. Let's see where they put it down. Actually, line of scrimmage was the 19, I think, and so Grand Valley picks up a few extra yards. And let's see if Grand Valley just buttons down and tries to hammer this one in. Slager and Dempster are both in at tight end. It's Katopka running outside. Good block by the wide receiver. Down to the 10-yard line goes Katopka. I think Katopka on a day where the field is a little bit drier might be more effective there because he's a big guy and he just has a little trouble getting out of the blocks. I think it's mostly due to the wetness.
Well, Davon Anderson was trying to block on the outside and just got beat to the inside. I thought that Cole Katopka was going to try to get to the sidelines. Noticed a little bit late that his receiver got beat inside, and so he had to cut it up. And not the fleetest of foot, but like you said, he's got decent feet and he's a big guy to bring down.
This is Arion Kane-Veazey down to the 2-yard line, a 1st and goal situation for the Lakers. That's just power. They're not getting to Kane-Veazey, or any other runner for that matter, right at the point of attack. And with that forward lean, Kane-Veazey has Grand Valley knocking on the door.
Well, and inside there, Culberson and Seawalk right there do a great job of a combo block up to the linebacker, creating a huge hole for VC to get up right to the 2-yard line.
Wadley wide to the left, and to the right it's Davon Anderson, the 2 tight end shift. Arion Kane-Veazey running left. He should be able to get there, and does. He's into the end zone for a Lakers score. Grand Valley marches it out to a 20-3 lead.
Huge play by special teams for Grand Valley. Coach Mitchell preached about it this week that he wants to see more out of his special teams, and right there they saw something in film. They went after the punt earlier in this game and just missed. They get it there, huge field position. A few plays later, Grand Valley a big score to make it 20-3.
Corball on for the extra point. 2-yard touchdown run by Veazey. Dan Madden on the hold here. The kick is up and good, 21-3. More to come today from Lover Stadium.
On the field.
And we will be going to ESPN3. We'll return to ESPN3 after the kickoff, or on the kickoff.
I went in to study biomedical sciences because I've always known that I would work in medicine. The BMS program here has really given me such a solid foundation of what we're gonna need to expand our knowledge in medical school. Being a member of the Cook Leadership Academy has really helped me grow to use my gifts as an introvert to connect to people in small ways that maybe somebody who's extroverted and sees big overarching themes can't quite see. I would recommend someone to come to Grand Valley. It's a really great environment. Everybody has a goal to do well in academics and in their professional life, and they care about being there. They're there because they want to, and the goal to support students as much as possible, like through the Tutoring Center and the Chemistry Success Center, is really giving kids the best possible environment to thrive. I'm Krista Fernando. I'm a biomedical science major, and my Laker effect is cultivating holistic relationships through medicine.
I'm Philomena Mantella, president of Grand Valley State University. More than 24,000 students are taking classes at Grand Valley, a West Michigan university with impact around the world. They choose to be Lakers because they can access top faculty offering hundreds of programs. They're able to take part in research and work in businesses that value their contributions. At Grand Valley, we are driven, we are bold. That's the Laker effect.
All right, still a little sunlight here at Lover Stadium in West Michigan. Grand Valley and William Jewell College from Missouri. And it's the home side on top by the score of 21-3. 2 long touchdown passes, Katopka to Wadley. The real story of this ball game. Gorball's kick is going to come down at about the 8-yard line. Grand Valley has not covered kicks very well so far, and this one's not a whole lot better. Out of bounds all the way up across the 40-yard line. And that's Jagway.
Well, Grand Valley does a better job of clogging up the middle, but they do not do a very good job of sustaining leverage on the outside, and he bounces to the outside and gets a huge return up to the 40-yard line for the Cardinals from William Jewell. And this is one thing that Grand Valley is going to need to clean up coming down the home stretch of this season.
Well, let's first of all give Jagway some credit. He's one of their top players, no doubt about it. Made a nice move to the outside, but usually when people are getting around you on kick team coverage, it's because somebody is peeking inside a little bit, trying to get to the return man a little more quickly than is possible or necessary. So Schneider up under center, at least for now. He's got an I formation here. Will William Jewell try to run the football? This is not their forte, play action. They're going to go back shoulder here. At least the quarterback wanted to do that, but Jagway continued down the field. He thought he was going long, and it might have been on had that ball gone over the top.
Well, Jontavius Webb had great coverage on the